In this lesson, we'll learn about segments of chords, tangents, and secants. If two chords intersect in the interior of a circle, the product of the lengths of the segments of one chord is equal to the product of the lengths of the segment of the other chord. A tangent segment is a segment that is tangent to a circle at an endpoint. A secant segment is a segment that contains a chord and has one endpoint outside the circle. The part of a secant segment outside is called an external segment. If two secant segments share the same endpoint outside of the circle, then the product of the lengths of one and its external segment equals the product of the length of the other and its external segment. If a secant and a segment for a tangent share an endpoint outside of a circle, the product of the lengths of the secant and its external segment equals the square of the length of the tangent segment. In our first example, AB and PQ are given for the segments. We're going to multiply the two pieces together. X times x plus 6 equals x plus 4 times x plus 1. We're going to multiply the x inside of the parentheses on the left, and we're going to FOIL on the right. The x squareds will cancel. We have 5x plus 4 on the right. I'll subtract 5x from both sides, so x equals 4. We're finding the length from AB and the length of PQ. So if x is 4, we'd have 8, 5, 4, and 10. In our next example, we'll use the rule that we're going to take the outside piece times the entire length equals the outside piece times the entire length. So 3 times 12 equals 4 times 4 plus x. Three times 12, 36. Distribute the 4 inside of the parentheses, 16 plus 4x. Subtract 16 from both sides. 20 equals 4x. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 5. If x equals 5, we have solved for the missing segment piece of our chord. In our next example, we're going to find the radius of the circle. So we have the outside piece, 3 squared, equals the outside piece times the whole length, 2r plus 1. So 9 equals 2r plus 1. Subtract 1 from both sides. 8 equals 2r divided by 2, r equals 4. So the radius is 4. In our last example, This was actually example 4. Let's go back to actually example 3. We have x times x, or x squared, equals x times 27. So x squared equals 324. Square root of that is 18. And we just did example 4 by accident in place of example 3. And that's all we have for the lesson today.